So we've been talking about, kind of the new feminine leaders that are not trying to be men, not forced to be men by culture, but rather really find a new powerful femininity from which to lead. And you were suggesting that the Chilean president, Michele Bachelet, is an example like that. Tell me more about her leadership.
Well, Michele Bachelet is a very interesting person because she was 15 years old when the coup happened in Chile. And her father was a military, and he was arrested, and he died in tortured by his own peers. And she was arrested with her mother, and they were both tortured. And then she left eventually with her mother and ended up becoming a doctor in Germany. She speaks perfect German and French and English and Spanish. And as soon as she could, she returned to Chile and worked in the opposition to the dictatorship. When we had democracy in Chile, she was first Minister of Health, because she's a doctor, a pediatrician. And then she became Minister of Defense, the first time we had a woman Minister of Defense whose job it was to give back to the armed forces the respect of the population that they had lost during all those years of atrocities. And she did it perfectly. And she has the military bearing because she comes from a family of soldiers. Now, then she became president, and everybody thought it's impossible. No one is going to vote for her in this macho country. It's impossible. She's a single mother. She's an atheist. She's a socialist. No way. And she's a woman. Well, she was elected, and she did the most wonderful government. And she finished her government with the highest approval rate ever in the history of Chile, 81%. And she's the figure that if she goes back to Chile, she will be elected again. She's now doing a very creative job in the United Nations, putting together all the women's organizations to create something similar to what organizations we have for children, for example, or for workers. So it would be wonderful if she achieves that. But her leadership is the mother figure. She's feminine, she's a strong, powerful mother. And she brought that to the presidency. She's a very good administrator, great common sense, works in a team, very democratic in her, and yet she has authority. She knows when to act as the president, and very courageous. People loved her.
On our website globalleadership.tv, you will find additional footage, other dialogues with innovation leaders from around the world, and also the hands-on practices that help them and their organizations to move from inspiration to real change.